Good morning. I'm just waiting for some people to come. There's some morning, Lena. We're waiting for a few more people to come into the room. I'm just going to share the first slide from the growth mindset workshop. And I'll start in about 2 minutes, I think. Okay, so I've shared those slides. You should all be able to hear me now. I'm going to wait just like 1 more minute to see if anyone comes in. Realize I've shared the wrong PowerPoint. I'm going to share a different one. Oh no, it's the right one. Sorry, the date's wrong on it. Okay, I'm going to press ahead. Thank you very much for coming today. The date, of course, is not the 6th of March 2023, because of course it's the 5th of March 2025. This is just an introduction to growth mindset, which is something that we do at the school. Very much we're just going to define what it is, how we use it, and how you can use it at home. It's really important, mindset. It's based on the writings of Professor Dweck, who's a professor at Stanford University, and is widely used in education, also in business and the civil service, in lots of places. Basically, we've got two mindsets. We've got a growth mindset, and we have a fixed. Having a growth mindset is essential for success. It's passion for stretching yourself and sticking to it. It's also stretching others, even when it's not going well. It's the hallmark of a growth mindset. So that's to paraphrase Professor Dweck. And with a growth mindset, we look for a challenge, we take risks, we're brave learners. We view failures and mistakes as opportunities to grow. We are a mistake-rich school. We don't allow rubbers. We usually don't allow rubbers. We encourage mistakes. We try new things. We don't say, I can't do that. We welcome feedback. We have a positive attitude towards feedback. A fixed mindset. We avoid challenges. We only do things that we think we can do. We avoid risks. We only do the things we think we can do, or the things that their parents think we can do. We avoid failure. We don't want to make a mistake. We don't want to make a mess in our book. We don't want an experiment to go wrong. We avoid trying new things. We're like, oh, let's play it safe. But playing it safe is actually not playing it safe. And we avoid any kind of feedback that suggests any type of improvement. I think it's really important what John Dewey says, is lots of you know, is the leading educationalist. We don't learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on that experience and thinking, how can we change? Why did that work? What are we going to do next? Growth mindset is I'm just going to quickly go over some myths about growth mindset. Growth mindset is the same as working hard. You just need to work hard, then you'll be okay. No, it doesn't work like that. You either have it or you don't. Well, that's a very fixed mindset for it. Anyone can have a growth mindset. Um, you you develop a growth mindset by understanding what it is. Now, so a couple of things there is is growth mindset is the same as working hard. I sometimes have parents say, well, yeah, my children's gonna do well at writing. I'm making them do an extra hour of writing every night. That's not a growth mindset. That's just forcing a child to do something that they don't want to do. You can't. That doesn't justify the exercise. Working hard doesn't justify what it is. 5 minutes reflection is going to be far more useful than 60 minutes of pointless activity. We're going to quickly look at an extract from a film here and think about growth mindset. What's Will Smith doing in this? You're familiar with the American actor, musician Will Smith. What's he doing that encourages a growth mindset, but also what's he doing that discourages it in his child? Let me just see if I've got this. There we go. Oh. I just need to change where we're sharing because it's now sharing in a different window. Sorry about this. Just give me 1 second. Mm. No, let's just keep on getting the wrong share window. So it's the first time I've shared on this computer, so I'm struggling with it a little bit at the moment. Sorry. Okay, we should have it now. If you haven't got it, please let me know in the chat. Okay, so that is a wonderful, that's a wonderful little set there. We can see in that Will Smith is saying, if you can't do it, I can never do this. Why can you? Why can you? And we find that a lot with sometimes the people are like, well, I was never good at maths at school. Don't worry about it. I was more English. Don't I was never good. I don't yeah, I didn't really I wasn't that great at football. No, I didn't like working in a group. That is a fixed mindset. If you are saying that to your own child, you're reinforcing negative behavior, you're reinforcing a fixed mindset. And I certainly had that from my father. My own father would be like, "Oh, I wasn't really very great at art at school." And so I just thought, oh, Dad wasn't any good at art, so that's fine for me. And then when I got older, I got to my teen years, I was like, actually, I really enjoy art. I'm okay at this. Right, there are 7 practices for really good um, new habits for a growth mindset. Um, we've got, let me just go through these practices. There's be process focused rather than outcome focused. The aim is not to win at a football game. The aim at first is to be able to dribble with a ball, or the aim is not to create a beautiful painting. The aim is to learn to sketch with a pencil or to learn to mix paints. Say yes to rejection. When something goes wrong, be like, oh, that's interesting. What can I learn from it? Learn the art of receiving feedback. Model to your own children how you've had feedback and how you've changed based on your feedback. So we do this as managers at the school. We show to the staff how we have feedback as managers and how we act on that. Um, Make a habit of learning new things. Learn new things together with your children. Practice old things that you love, but learn new things. Try a new recipe together. Try a musical instrument. Learn language. Do embrace struggles. Say, yeah, I find that difficult. What's the next step? Um, Compare yourself to yourself only. Don't say to your child, well, how are you doing compared to the other people in the class? Where are you in the class? Um, where are you? You don't ask where are you in the class. You ask where are you compared to yesterday? Where are you compared to last week? Where are you compared to the month before? Um, because if a child thinks they're top of the class, they'll be like, oh, I don't need to do this anymore. And if they think they're bottom of the class, they'll think, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm no good at this. They should be comparing themselves to where they were. Engage in deliberate practice. That's practicing purposeful practice, not just repeating what you know already. Um, and then you should have a great outcome. One of the ways that you can do this at home is by praising and modeling during a homework. Don't just say, do your work hard. There's another homework um, webinar coming up, but you can show how would you do it. If you're trying to do your spellings, if trying to get your child to do their spellings, show yourself doing it. Um, we also got to think about why does a child behave differently during homework that they might do in class. We regularly get this. We regularly get my child doesn't want to do their spellings. It's a child that always works. That a child does their spellings in class. And there could be lots and lots of reasons for it. The reason is not because they're lazy. There is no lazy child. The reason might be is because they're tired, or because they want to hug, or because they want to watch cartoons, or because they're not at school and they would rather not be doing schoolwork, which is reasonable for a primary age child. Um, think about once they've done those spellings, or once they've done the mental maths, think about the praise that you can give them afterward. Um, Outcome based praise would be you nailed that test, but it's not saying why someone did it. That it's useless praise. It's like saying you're clever. It's not helpful. Whereas if you say you worked hard on the test, you could good. That's what you did to get there. That's the process. You did so well. That doesn't say anything. You say if it looks like your practice paid off, you're encouraging what the child has done to get to that point. Um, look at this report card, you're so smart. Not helpful at all. It's like smart being this magical power. This you want to you can work on. You've improved since the last time because you've been trying different ways of practicing or revising. We don't really do revising in primary below year six. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Again, it doesn't really mean anything. You want to say you worked towards that. Um, you're an incredible painter. Would you say, I know you love to take time to choose your colours to make them work well together. Right. Um, if you think more about the feedback that you give your child, we've got a thing called tag feedback. We use this in class. You say something you liked, you ask a thoughtful question, and you give a suggestion. Tell, ask, give. Something you liked, a thoughtful question, a positive suggestion. So I like how you mixed those colours, or I like how you use the homophones that you used in your writing, or the strongest point is the way you set up that goal through passing, or I um, I enjoyed your writing because you included an introduction that had who, when, where, what. Then you ask a thoughtful question. Um, so in your introduction that said who, when, where, what, um, could you have put why they were there? And then give a positive suggestion. You said who was there. Maybe you want to add a little bit of description to the people who were there. Or you said who was there? Were they are they all in the same place? Um, what do you say to your child if they say, "Why do I have to learn this? This is useless. Why does anyone need to know maths?" Um, right. If a child says this, you're saying you're doing well. You're nearly there. This is a target. Uh, the maths that you learn, you can apply in all sorts of areas. You can apply maths to the scientists learn about maths. You can apply for it to the shopping that you're doing. You can apply it to your cooking. Do you like computers? You can apply it to coding. There's always an application. I'm going to go through the next bit because we haven't done the videos there. So instead of the child thinking, I'm not good at this, they can think, what do I need to do? Instead of saying, I give up, try a different strategy, which is actually really good. If you try to get your child to do their homework and you're trying it the same way and it's not working, if something is not working over and over and over again, try a different way. It might be a little minor alteration, or it might be a major alteration. If your child's going, that's good enough, it'll do. You think, well, what can I add? Is this really the best work? What can I put to it? Um, Instead of thinking, this is too hard, I hear this in class actually, this is hard. And what a teacher who used to work here, Miss Wallen, used to say, we do hard things. It's just going to take us a little bit longer, and that's fine. Instead of like, I just can't do this, you think, well, what steps can we do? I actually don't like to train my brain. It makes its brain sound like a muscle, which is not. But yeah, what steps do we need to do this? What about I'll never be smart? You say, learn how to do it. It's a skill that you learn. If you say that it didn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I hear this from adults. It didn't work. It didn't work. Well, what's the other plan? And instead of thinking, well, the little girl who sits next to me can do it. You think, I will learn from them. We love learning from friends. I'm going to just move through that. Again, go back to that question. What happens if your child says, I can't do this. I'm useless at this. This is not me, or they're just refusing to do it. Explain what the learning is about. When we learn about maths, we learn about solving problems, applying the problems, using our critical thinking skills. These skills can be applied in other areas. It's about taking on a challenge and tackling new challenges. Something you dislike is an important part of building frustration, tolerance, or reserves. It helps us cope. Life is not always easy. We need to be able to learn to do difficult things. And as this teacher who was here before, we can do hard things. It helps you exercise your perseverance, so you can tackle any challenge that comes your way. It makes us resilient. It makes us resilient learners. It makes us brave learners. So lots of children that don't understand why they need to learn maths or other things. In fact, someone's called the maths unnecessary torture. So how do you encourage a love of learning your children and motivate them to keep on going? Return with the same question. Often when a child says they don't see a point in something, they just want to express frustration. So when they say, I don't understand, I can't do this, I've had enough, actually, they're not talking about their learning. They're talking about the fact that you're trying to do homework on a Thursday evening, which isn't a good time to do it, or they're frustrated because they're tired, or they're frustrated because they've just had an argument with their sister. And a lot of the time, you could just say, that's a good question. Can you think of any other ways that you can use maths in your life? Just move back to the maths. And then there are times when you need to stop and just say, this is a break. Have a break. Right. We are largely finished. I think the bit that I'm trying to get over is that failure is an opportunity to grow, and good things don't necessarily come quickly. These challenges help your children to grow. They develop their thinking ability. They develop their ability to take things down into bite-sized chunks. They develop their resilience, and they develop their ability to come up with a plan B, to try new things and get out of their comfort zone. If you model coming out of the comfort zone with your children, that will help them in their learning. If you show them giving up every time you're frustrated, they will then give up every time they're frustrated. Right. That's largely over. Is there any questions that you would like to ask me? If you have any questions, just if you put it in the chat bar, or you can raise your hand. I will share the PowerPoint with you. Is anything that you need to know about how this works in school, or anything about how you can use this at home, or however you can use it with yourself? This is something that maybe you can use with your colleagues at work or with your friends. You praise how someone gets there. You praise the process. Okay, if there is no questions, I'm just going to say thank you and go. I'm just going to do, sorry, I'll just briefly do this last one. Should you praise good marks? Praise it. We come up a lot of the time with spelling. We have children get very frustrated saying, my parent says that I have to get 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. That's not really that helpful. It just means it's a kind of arbitrary cut-off point. 9 out of 10 is really good. If some weeks, other weeks it's not. Sometimes 1 out of 10 is really good. I think it's probably praising them on how hard they've worked, or how or how much they've improved. Sorry, I just come back after I said I was going to go. Right. I'm going to end this. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you very much for coming today. Bye.